7
It's right
o'clock,
at me. Am I like on the focal point?
7 o'clock on December 10th, and we call
Am I?
to order the meeting of the Southwick Zoning Board of Appeals. In attendance this evening, we have Michael Parent, Paul Gregoire, Bill Liss, Chris Mastriani, and Wendy Cordiero. Quickly do some paperwork of signing things and meeting minutes, and we'll resume recording when we complete that.
Do you want to read it?
I don't think we need to spend too much time on
I'm
the
putting a motion to accept.
Have a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting from December 13th. Any second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
All right,
Okay, meeting minutes from December 13th are passed and approved. Recording now.
oh, I got it. That's the time. So this is over.
Well, killing some time here. I got I think you got it too, Wendy. You got an email from Michelle about open meeting webinar. It was about 2 weeks ago. I don't know if that's
I
something.
can't,
I
I
don't know if
can't
that-
hear you when you're facing.
I'm
that way.
sorry.
No, that's okay.
I got an email from the clerk, Michelle, about a webinar for open meeting law. I think it's toward the end of this month. I couldn't quite tell from the email whether only I had to attend or other people were able to attend. But I don't know if you can check on that when
Is it
you
Zoom?
see.
It's a Zoom. Just do-
Yeah.
I watched that thing on television. I think it was almost 45 minutes where you had to go through the open meeting law. Is this going to be different than that?
That was ethics.
I
Mine was
don't know.
more
It's
ethics.
considered a webinar, so I don't think it's something you can just go to
Right.
and start on your own. It's
Need a
gonna
link.
be- I assume it's gonna be somebody talking. I don't know.
Probably a link or something.
So I can send
Yeah.
I'll forward the email to you guys.
Okay.
And if you feel like you have to register for it. If you feel like doing that, it's at 2 times it's at Wednesday at 9:30 in the morning, and then the other time is at 6 or 6:45 in the evening. So if you're
Okay.
interested in that, you can pick one of those and check it out. I don't think this is different from the thing where we have to take the quiz.
That's your ethics from the state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to look at that?
Yeah, it'll be good.
I did download.
I was gonna bring up the issue of Zoom versus in-person versus hybrid, but that subject's already been brought up, and looks like we'll be practicing with this little gadget here, and if we're forced to do a hybrid or full Zoom, I guess my preferences are in-person, full Zoom, and hybrid. I'm not sure what the advantages of the hybrid are, because we don't usually get very many people here. So if we have to go back to the full Zoom, for temporarily, I guess that would be might be easier to do.
I think if the town decides that's what we're going to do, we don't have any choice.
Right, if it's going to be dictated to us, that's fine.
Yeah.
Take the decision out of our hands. I prefer the in-person, but I realize that that's not probably the most prudent solution, depending if we still stay in the red zone and the numbers keep going up. So
Yeah, I noticed today 60,000 this week. 60,000 new cases.
yeah, when you see the positivity is 20, over 20%.
Yeah, at one point it was like if they had 8,000 or 9,000, that was a lot. It
Mm.
seemed.
I may interject,
Sure,
Yeah.
Joe.
Board of Selectmen. So the Board of Selectmen stance is to try to get everyone at least hybrid,
Okay,
and we will provide you with the support you need to
okay,
make this process work. We're not gonna throw you in the,
right,
into the wind.
yeah, I agree. And I think just a
promise
brief
you that.
introduction that I walked in the middle of
Yeah.
seems like it might be sufficient, but
And we'll have an AV person here for your next few meetings to shadow
Okay.
and walk you guys through this.
Yeah,
I'm not, and we're not doing this so you can more or less have interaction with everyone. It's just, it's the next phase. We were gonna camera all these rooms anyways and make your meetings live at some point, all meetings.
Yeah.
This is much more realistic, this version. It's a lot less inexpensive than what we were looking at and having someone control everything. So we would love for you guys to try it. We're gonna help you as much as we can.
okay,
You know, when summer comes and things quiet down, maybe we don't have to do it, that's great, but at least for the next 2 months, like you say, the surge is coming, it's been here. It's been mild for the most part, but it is here.
Mhm.
So whatever we can do to help this process, we're here to help you. Thank you.
so with the hybrid, you're not gonna allow people in,
You can, so she can allow them in and under public comment
right?
is when the folks have,
Yeah, it's like basically zooming,
right,
right?
it is, it really is.
Is
Yep.
there a screen somewhere that,
It's
There is.
right there, that owl.
but I mean, where we'll be able to see
Yeah.
the person
We
who's
can,
speaking?
we just were doing this as a demo.
Yeah, we
tonight,
need
just
to monitor
show how-
somewhere.
Right.
Well, until the monitor is installed right there, where
Yeah.
it will be, we can set up the laptop to connect to the projector and project the Zoom right behind you.
Oh,
So you would actually see who's there.
We have ordered, I don't know that it's in yet, there's gonna be a big TV on that wall right there.
so we want to be on that side, actually doing the meeting, so you could see. that way.
You can hear.
Yeah,
But,
you can
okay,
also, mute everybody, so there's none of this, we're not trying to have people attack you and just start commenting when you guys are trying to have a meeting.
this isn't the select board meeting.
Not yet, but with a little bit of luck, they'll hate you too. So,
Did you see where Westfield, there
Yes.
was a whole bunch of people that wouldn't put on masks?
Yes,
They had to call their meeting off.
yes,
Yeah,
That was last week. We had 100% compliance tonight at the Board of Selectmen's meeting.
yes.
There was no one in the yard.
So, thank you.
did you,
But we did have 20-ish people on Zoom tonight.
that's
And I
good.
think you'll find that they will zoom in.
Yeah, I mean, this board isn't, the participation isn't as fervent as it would be with,
Yes.
because like you said, we haven't done enough to cause a rift yet.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but,
You'll have
but
your
to,
moment, I
but to Chris's, I think the point where we head to is, we got gentlemen here tonight, right, and if you got 11 by 15 or larger drawings, you're on a screen, like trying to squish it all in there. Look, even if I printed the stuff down I've got, it's small. And it's hard to decipher, and you don't get the interaction of seeing what's going on. Mainly because of what we deal with. We're dealing with land and property and boundaries and stuff like that so it's a little more of a challenge, but I think if I can project,
It works.
And
I
anything's
wonder if-
better than what you're doing, right? So it's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's not the answer.
no, I understand.
And we say that every time, we go, wait, I can't hear you perfect. Oh.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Today we had a fingerprint apparently on the lens.
Yeah.
So they were, right, and we cleaned it.
The middle of the meeting.
So, but you're in a bigger room down there with harder acoustics.
This room is better. for
Right, I
now.
was gonna say the
It-
acoustics are,
And, conservation's been online for
Okay.
2 years now. They haven't had an in-person meeting.
I know, man,
2 years. I may be entitled to condensation.
but I'm bummed. All
2
week,
years.
just
and
because
they've
it's your birthday,
approved
dog, doesn't mean you can go there.
Several significant developments. Planning board's been bopping back and forth between hybrid and
Yeah.
remote. Levesque and those guys and anyone with a plan, they share the screen. And
That's
they
what I'm saying,
put
I
it up
mean-
On the screen and share it, and
Yeah.
it's really not horrid. It really isn't horrid. It
I'm,
can be done.
we've done it, I mean, we did it with the time we were on Zoom 100%, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
But they're
right. You
very
did it
hard
right.
We survived.
And it's really, I think we talked about it the last time I was here. In person is easy, all Zoom is easy, hybrid's the toughest,
Correct,
it really is.
Yeah.
But this makes it, seems quite unobtrusive, and it does kind of work. And
well, it
for
gives the
people that
public
wanna-
a chance to see without having to be
Correct.
at risk.
Yep, or, I mean, tonight, I don't know if it was a COVID thing or it's just really cold outside, but even the usual cast of characters that have been coming to,
No,
nice people been coming to our meetings and speaking. They were all remote tonight on Zoom.
Yeah, there's nothing to yell about anymore.
You know, they're always-
You guys, you guys
Oh,
want.
no.
Throw another log on the fire.
Okay. Well, it is what it is. It's not going away, so. What else, Paul? Anything else, Chris, that we, any new things coming up? Any new applications?
No. Okay.
Okay,
If there's no new application, I'm gonna suggest that we meet 2 weeks from tonight to
Nothing,
talk
your
about the
question.
lawyer,
Yeah.
lawyer issues. We've had enough time to read through those. So
right,
if we can talk them over among the board first, and then if there are any open issues, we can try to arrange for Attorney Bigland to come
That would be the 24th.
and, yeah, 2 weeks from tonight. So we'll
Okay.
try to spend some time and try to eliminate, 75% of the issues if
Yeah.
we figure that they've been sufficiently addressed, written, verbal, in a written form, and then if we need anything clarified, if it's that important, then we can schedule an in-person visit or maybe a Zoom visit with the town council.
Yeah.
So
okay,
we'll plan on that for 2 weeks from tonight.
okay, good.
I think we're close enough to 7:15. We have a public hearing this evening. I'll read the legal notice for publication in the Westfield Evening News from the Town of Southwick Zoning Board of Appeals for release on December 27th and January 3rd. Notice is hereby given of a public hearing to be held Monday, January 10th, 2022, in person only at 454 College Highway at 7:50 PM. To hear the petition of Calix and Pistols Incorporated for property located at 74 College Highway, Southwick, Mass. The applicant is seeking a front setback variance of 45 feet in order to construct a building for business, and we've clarified that to say it's a commercial greenhouse.
Yeah. It's in the folder. You open the front page.
In order to construct a commercial greenhouse and processing facility. So I want the gentleman to come up.
Awesome.
This is our annual
Processing.
January meeting with you guys. I
Awesome.
guess.
Process it, huh?
What was our setback before? From this?
Just for a little preface, this is an application for an application that was reviewed and it was initially reviewed in January of 2019, and it was approved on January 28th of 2019. And then on January 13th of 2020, it was approved for an extension. But that extension ran out on July 28th of 2020. So the applicant is back here, not starting from scratch, starting the process from scratch, but not starting the whole project from scratch, so that they can bring us up to date on what has changed since last time. We've all been familiar with the plans for the original one that we went back and forth for a few meetings, so I'll ask them to tell us what's different and has changed since then, and we can consider it that way, so. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Sure, I'm Bill Fontaine, Calix and Pistols.
I'm Christopher Lally.
Okay,
So last time we got the approval for the setback. And this, because it's expired, we're here to hopefully renew that setback. The only thing that's really changed is the size of the building is going to get shrunk down. From originally we had 15,500, now it's going to be 11,500. And looking to,
So on your little map right here that you are showing.
yep, we got a
This is
bigger
the
one.
old,
good.
and this is the new.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, basically, we want to keep the same setback and reduce the size of the building and put all the HVAC the field side, away from the neighbors and all that. And originally it was gonna have it on the roof and supporting the roof, and the project was, you know,
Right, but by shrinking the building, the size of the building, if we keep the setback, we can keep it out of sight, out of mind, nobody will hear it, they won't hear the.
Or backup
systems,
generator
They
and
won't
all-
see it.
all the
backup generator,
HVAC.
Everything will be hidden back there.
When you say back there, you're talking, you're.
Where this
referring
is-
To these two.
Right.
opposite of the street side.
So here's College Highway here.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the
So
street,
they're looking at utilities in the
this is
back of the
gonna be
building.
the reduction of the building,
Was that the
so
original?
where that building is gonna be.
No, the original is
That's
the
where
whole
the
big footprint.
HVAC System back there.
This, right?
The original is this whole foundation here, so it's gonna be this new
So
line here.
It's this.
We reduce the building
So you're
down.
taking this out and, okay.
So
Correct,
the
this,
building-
this
okay.
X is coming
Yeah.
out,
Trying to have it upside down.
And, you know, yeah,
looking
and
at
trying to
it.
maintain the same distance, the
No,
variance that we
this is
got
College
originally, so
Highway.
that we can actually put
We
the,
were to the right,
I
but
get it.
so this,
that's the new building,
this was originally gonna be building all the way to here,
all the way around.
but by shrinking it to here,
Yep,
instead of having a building there,
now you got your.
we're gonna put our
Utilities.
HVAC system back there, the generator. That way, everything will be out of sight,
Gonna put it where?
out of mind. Right back
on the
there.
outside,
Right.
instead of, the
That was originally gonna be building,
Okay.
so we're gonna make the building smaller so we can put all of that.
Looking at this is about 4 or 5 feet.
no, it's like, that's 10, 10, 9,
feet?
10 feet.
Yeah.
About the half, okay. So plenty of room for pad, concrete.
Right, that's what we were hoping to throw
So
it
you're-
back there, because the last time
so
we were
your
here, people
footprint-
didn't wanna see anything.
Mhm.
The footprint, including now what you've moved outside, is no bigger
No.
than it was originally.
Right,
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And this, that will be gone.
But the side of the building.
Do you have a
is
question, sir?
I just would like to see the plans and all, if that's possible.
Oh, it's basically the same as last, we're just shrinking it.
Look at the bigger one.
Why don't you-
Yeah, there's-
Just let Wendy know your name and address,
Introduce
please.
yourself, please.
Lee Hamper, 48 South Long Yard Road.
the original plans were this big building here, we're reducing the size of the building to this, and then putting all the HV opposite of the road.
So nobody will see that.
You're not showing the modifications on the bigger plan, right? I can't see it.
Yeah. there's-
Yeah, that's,
Okay. Because I can see it clearly on this
Yeah.
one.
yeah, he has it
It's hard
over
to see
there.
it clearly on that one.
And the design of the building, last time we came
You're not
in,
going up on it.
no, no, no,
No,
no.
no,
So
no.
this, the last time we came in, you know, we were saying we're gonna put it, make it look like a barn. The building's gonna be the same appearance.
Okay.
So we're not changing the aesthetics of the building
Right.
at all. Other than it's gonna be a little smaller. And the HVAC system is hopefully gonna be in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
in the back.
you are
Maybe
not
in the back.
doing this
concern was you
section
were
here
Correct.
at this time?
No.
Correct.
Is that in future plans still?
Well, originally we were gonna do it all at once.
Yep.
So right now, we're just focused on getting this up and running. That one.
Okay,
If that's in future plans, we'd have to come back
You'd have to do
again.
it all over.
We'd have
again.
to do it all over again and come back for another. Right,
Is this the same setback as last time?
yep,
Yeah,
Yeah, This
Yeah.
isn't changing the front of the building.
No, I didn't know the.
right. That enables us to put all the
Yeah, I
HVAC
get
and
that.
everything back there.
There's a wetlands back to
More than that.
Right, and the wetlands, I know last time we got approved, in our approval last time, it was that we maintain the field behind it, and we've been doing that. We have the field mowed. A couple times a year, there's a local farmer who comes, he mows it, he takes the hay.
When the water's down.
What happened this year? What happened this year with all the rain that we had and all the water?
He mowed it, he mows it as far as he can till, I guess, before his tractor sinks.
yeah.
But he mows it, yeah, as much as he can.
I only see 30 feet setback from the property line on the front.
Right,
That's. yeah,
that's why they want
That's-
45-foot relief.
He's asking for 45-foot variance.
Okay,
The variance is the.
the variance
what
is
you're
the
taking-
difference between the 75 and.
Yeah.
Correct.
Or 7,
Okay.
yeah.
but the property line is, I forgot what was 10, it's 10 feet from the street.
Plus or minus.
Right, town owns.
Part of the reason why is from the road, that thing drops down like this, right? So the building is gonna be lower, so even though it drops down like that, and so it kind of reduces what from the street you would see as the
Right.
building.
So how many feet is represented by the diminished size at this point?
Oh, it was, it was 140, it was 185 feet long total
Right.
before. So there's like 30 feet.
There's 147.
Here's
by
the,
76, is that correct?
here's the property line, 50 feet, basically 51 feet
Yep.
to the,
And one of the original things was that you were gonna have a parking spot. This is where the people were gonna come in and out of that building. Right here, on this
This-
side.
Correct.
And I know there was some concern about that. So is this gonna become a parking?
Well, no, no,
area
that-
here for-
no, the people were gonna come, where are we? What's it called?
So the rest of the plan
People
is
are
the
gonna
same
park
as it
there.
was?
yeah, the parking's got to
Parking's
remain
over
the
here.
same and the
Yeah.
the runoff is the same. We're just keeping the same variance, reducing the size of the building and putting the HVAC here, not up on the roof, keeping the noise down, you know.
Overhang,
Yeah, yeah.
but we did away with that.
Whose phone is this?
Trucks will come in. That's mine.
Oh.
I was just keeping the paper. Big trucks will come in.
I was thought it was a free apple.
No, I got enough phones, right?
Do we know the dimension from that wetland barrier to the back of the building? Where it dips down,
From,
that point where it dips down,
Looks like it's about
right
40
here,
40
to the
feet.
back of the building.
yeah,
I mean,
that would
This
be a
is
good,
50 feet. That's
Yeah,
about,
that, yeah, it'd be a
40.
good 40, 45 feet.
Right, the back of that building will be a wall. We'll put a wall up. Because like you said, it does go down.
so where's this wall, retaining wall gonna be?
It's right here. We'll do
Okay, for the parking area.
Parking here. And the
So the foundation is
foundation
going to
of
be
the-
the retaining wall.
Yeah.
foundation of the building on this side here.
Right, the only thing we're asking for is just, we're just shrinking the building. We're actually making it smaller.
Yeah, a little over 11,000 square feet.
Right, and we're gonna be doing the same thing in there, just
Mhm.
cultivating and processing. And when we say processing, we're not gonna be making edibles, we're not gonna be making oils or gummies. That's a whole different processing license. Our processing is,
We can't do extractions,
right,
basically.
we can't do that. When they
No
say
chemical
processing,
extractions, no,
ours is just gonna be
Just-
bagging it up. I say bagging it. We can package it to sell to wholesale, to sell wholesale. That's what they consider processing. as far
You
as
have to have a
cultivating.
testing site.
No, everything goes through state labs to get tested.
independent state or independent labs, yeah.
Water usage.
Do you now have the approval from the state? Because last time we talked, you still were waiting to hear.
Oh, no, we have a provisional license
Okay,
from the state.
good to know.
And that, the elevation of the building. those things.
These are
I
just,
think we got that.
those are the old, that's what the building's gonna
That's
look
what
like.
we should have done.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's not all, so that's not all gonna be there. This overhang
Yeah,
won't
'cause
be
you're-
there, because that's the back. We're gonna get rid of that. So the trucks will still be coming in here.
Yep.
They'll pull in here, they'll back in here.
With the original plan, you included
Hmm.
your future expansion in the original plan.
it was all in one shot when we did it originally.
Because this is.
We can't go anywhere near
That's the
this. That's
side.
50,
Right.
51 feet for the
So
border.
you're just- you're
the neighbors,
just
yeah.
Eliminating, you're back down to the square footage you need to run your regular operations from day one, and then look ahead to the future if you need that extra
Right.
part of the building. Okay.
I don't see. It's the actual rear line. Of the rear line of the property.
Oh, that's,
On this.
Oh.
way over
Okay,
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on the
I
other
don't see it
side
on
of,
there, I don't see it.
that's on the other side of the brook.
I see this, you know.
Yeah, it's way.
So it's probably up here.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah, the
originally
land's like 10.8
conservation-
acres, something. It's a good sized lot.
yeah,
Originally, the Conservation Commission had approved this, I think.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, no. I mean,
yeah,
it
we were
was-
all approved. We just want to hopefully get it renewed. Get back.
I don't have any other questions.
No.
Does anybody else?
I still have-
Questions?
I can ask what
Surely.
your plans are for solar collectors.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes, it is.
For solar collectors. That's a great
Because I know
question.
that in your business plan that you submitted to the CCC, that you suggested that you were going to expand your solar capacity to decrease your carbon footprint.
Correct, correct. And we were hoping to either put them on the roof or put them on the field. And I know the last time that we were here, we weren't sure about where. I mean, we want to do that. In the future, we want to do that, but that's not really what we're here right now for. But we do want to do that in the future. I know last time we spoke about that, but we weren't sure where because we weren't really sure what's going to be allowed to go in the ground with the wetlands. I mean, I don't know how they do solar. I don't know if they pour concrete footings or what. I don't know how they do solar.
I think that they do.
So, and without that side over there.
Careful,
There's no
man.
bottom.
You
to
make
that.
everybody dizzy at
No
home.
bottom.
That's all right, you'll get a $3,000 bill when you.
yeah.
When I knock that over.
I think it's staring at me.
So to answer your question, yes, we would ultimately, we would like to do that to reduce that carbon footprint.
Mhm.
But right now, we're just, because it's been a while, and we just want to get going. Shrink it.
There's a proposal for a large solar installation up for debate right now, so if you read anything about that, you'll see what the questions that need to be answered. I did listen in on one meeting, I think that there are concrete footings
Yeah.
there. But I know you also have, over a certain size, you have to post a bond for removing the system at the end of its life. But that's a tangent that we don't need to talk about now. But, okay, any other questions?
Yeah, well, but maybe more of a comment than a question, but even when you brought it to our attention the first time, it was really rainy weather at the time. I mean,
Yes, it was.
it was really.
We had a bad summer that year.
Yeah, well, when I went off to look at the property, when you were coming forward to the board, the water was way above where the boundary lines were marked, and I couldn't, I said, it doesn't make any sense to me. So if somebody is not paying attention
Oh,
or something.
today you went?
No,
out there?
not today, when you brought it the first time.
Oh, the last time, okay.
And I said, the boundary markers are all there with posts, but the water's way up here. And I said, this doesn't make sense. So that was a concern that I had then, and I have it now. That hasn't changed.
Property boundary lines?
The water levels
Water.
were, water was above here.
It was, yeah, it was more than what you had out there for your boundary markers, not only markers for the building, but
Yeah.
markers you had for the. where the
It's
water
been yeah,
lines
fluctuating
are.
with the weather.
The building goes
There
back,
you go.
I don't know how far that is. What's your frontage, you know?
Oh, God.
More than 200.
I think it's just the right picture. Oh, it was in your application.
Was it on
No,
that
it's right
one?
here, number 3 right here.
Okay,
It's number 3 right here.
all right, so.
So that's pretty far down into the,
Okay. So that's,
Yeah.
this is you here.
Yeah.
okay. So Paul, you're saying that the water was on that,
Not where the building goes.
right, but it was on.
no, it kind of looks like that. Sometimes you can't mow down that far. So it's looking more, depends on how in this summer was a lot of rain.
I mean, all this water is really your restriction. It kind of squeezes you towards the road.
Right.
This will be public water or well water or.
We're gonna have, we're
Public water
public water and we're gonna get a well also. We're gonna put a well
for a
in.
backup.
We're gonna have tight tanks, septic tanks for everything to go into.
I remember one of the board members had mentioned with these restrictions, having push you. Why did you not look for a piece of property which is probably more convenient, that you didn't have to come and be 30 feet from the road, et cetera?
Nobody was selling their property.
Right.
One down the street now.
Yeah.
We have-
Think of a couple.
We have what we have.
I mean, obviously you did because of the economics, the price was right.
Well, we also did it because this parcel of land is in the industrial restricted area.
Yeah.
There are only two of them in town. And Hudson's one of them, and this is the other.
There's a few lots other than the other guy in Hudson, but they didn't want to sell their property.
I mean, there's a lot of property, yes, in town for sale, but that's not gonna do us any good because we won't be able to do what we want.
So for instance, that property that's across the street for you, that's not industrial
Nope.
restricted? Wow.
No, the one that just sold,
Oh,
yeah, they
Yeah.
just sold both those properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not in it.
No, it starts at our property, it goes up to the greenhouse there.
Okay,
It goes for a little stretch and then it jumps up to the little center of town where, not the center of town, but the gas station is in that industrial park.
Price station.
And then there's the Hudson Drive
Mhm.
section of the industrial restricted area zone.
just,
So there's three little zones in Southwick.
yeah, just out of one side of the street is industrial restricted. And the other side- Well, I suppose I shouldn't say anything bad about it. It's south of zoning, so. Because it's all a little bit odd. That's why we exist here.
Mhm.
All right, any other comments?
No?
I think that you've done a good job, making it look so it's not gonna be a big giant pink elephant sitting out there, that it's gonna, people will go by it and almost like you said, looks like a barn.
Yep, that's what we want.
So I think that's an important thing. I think some of the changes you've made here are lessening the impact that it will have, so.
It's not a greenhouse, so you won't see lights at night, things of that nature.
Right, there'll be no smell, no odors coming out. That was a big worry last time. People were asking if it won't be. There'll be no lighting. Like you drive up 91, there's greenhouses along 91. I don't know if you guys have driven up there in the last couple of years. You drive up there at night and they're all lit in red and purple. They got those lights going at night,
Really?
every night.
Yeah.
So you won't see any of that.
Do you have to go before the planning board for the site plan review again? In other words, the approval, I think, was, what, 2 years?
Right.
No, there's a
And that
15-month
clock is-
extension on all the.
Right, there's a,
Special
because of
permits.
COVID, there's a 15-month extension. It was
Okay.
at least last week we
Yeah.
had called.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke to somebody over at town hall. COVID was good for one thing. for us, I guess, right?
If no one has any comments, I'll make a motion to approve the application for 74 College Highway of front setback variance of 45 feet for the purpose of building a commercial greenhouse and distribution center.
Second.
You have a second? All in favor?
So their reservation of 30 feet, I'm sorry.
If we hadn't done it twice before, I understand that, but I think with the way that the building is below grade and you're gonna be going and see the first floor, just see the roof is, I think it's okay.
To vote? You can vote.
Oh, I vote yes.
So you got 2 yeses and a maybe.
3.
No,
No,
he's a alternate.
Oh,
he's
that's true.
alternate for this meeting.
I can vote.
Yeah, you could.
Well, I'm not sure you can have a maybe.
Well, you can't have that. You want me to vote no?
You could put
Well,
an
you could-
extension on it,
you could
make
say
you
you-
think a
You
little
could say
bit
you're
more
not gonna
about it.
vote and
Paul.
we'll have the alternate vote.
Yeah,
You could say that you don't, you recuse yourself from voting and we can have the alternate vote.
Why would I want to recuse myself? I have a definite opinion on it.
Right? I'm just looking for a,
So if I vote nay, then they have to, they can't come back for 2 years.
or they send their lawyers here.
Hmm?
Or they send their lawyers here.
It doesn't change anything.
Mhm.
The vote is still no.
They could withdraw their petition and come back in 2 weeks, let's say. I don't know if you're gonna think about it more, Paul. You have to think about it more, or you have made up your
I
mind.
think we've thought about it for 2 weeks, for 2 years. I don't know if there's, nothing's gonna change on the plans.
I'm just trying to keep them from having to wait 2 years to
Oh, I understand that.
come back and.
Yeah, that's,
Yep.
that's an option if we have to do that.
It's a good piece of land for what we want to do.
A piece of land for anything, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I know.
I know it
It'll bring in
well.
some money for the town.
I know a piece of land well, so.
I think it's almost an unusable piece of land for most other things. I mean, even if somebody wanted to build a house there,
You can't,
they would still have, you know,
That's industrial.
same
restriction.
restrictions, yeah. Same, it will be the same restriction, but as Bill just pointed out, it's industrial restricted, so it's got nothing to do with building a house. That's what would happen if they were allowed. Had the same problem. Yeah, I'm still not for it.
So what would you like us to do? Because I know last time we got it approved, so I don't know what's changed other than we made the building smaller. The look of the building's gonna be the same. We shrunk it by 5,000 square feet. What more, what would you like
No,
us
I'm
to?
not looking for you to make any changes. I think you've done a good job as far as presenting it and so on, there's no question. You're going along with everything that was requested of you before. It's all good, all positive. I still don't like anything, it's 30 feet from the road. Whether it's
Well, it's 30 feet,
industrial or house or
30
anything.
feet from the property line. It's farther than that from the road.
Oh, 40 feet, sorry.
No, I'm just trying to understand how we can
We haven't
approve
allowed
it twice
40
and
feet.
not approve it the third
So-
time.
So, can I ask
Yeah.
something?
Go ahead.
So when you guys say, or when you say there's nothing that's 40 feet from the road in town,
Under the new laws.
well, O'Reilly Auto Parts down there is 40 feet from the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts down there, and I'm nothing against O'Reilly Auto Parts, it's great, it's business, they got theirs approved. But their parking lot, their septic is in wetlands. Their parking lot is built over wetlands. And they're 40 feet from the road. So I don't know,
yeah,
actually
originally
pushed them back.
O'Reilly wanted to put the building the other way, right?
It was gonna be like
That
15
had to be
feet from the
approved
road.
By this board as well, and they changed the whole way the building was gonna, they were originally gonna have the back of the building facing towards the road, and you had to drive around to the front. And I guess we didn't like that.
No matter where the septic is, I don't, we had no bearing on where the septic.
I mean, I got O'Reilly's here, and they're in the new laws, because they were going through at the same time we were last time. And I know Levesque was here with us, and they were saying the same thing, like, you guys approved O'Reilly. And so I don't. So there is somebody in town that did it under the new law.
that still doesn't make it right. Because it was approved, I agree, it was approved. I'm gonna do the rest actually, but
But what we're doing is not wrong. We're just trying to make the best use of the property.
I
you know?
understand, I understand. But, because O'Reilly was done, doesn't mean it's okay to go everywhere else. I mean, we don't use precedent, you know? This board does not use precedent anymore. You want to exercise a continuance or anything? I know you don't.
If you ask for a continuance, if it's denied now, you can't come back for 2 years. But if you say we want to withdraw and get a continuance, you can come back in 2 weeks or. you know,
So if we
whatever.
come back, if we come back in
It
2
may or
weeks,
may not change anything.
what's gonna change if we come back in 2
Well,
weeks?
you're not gonna have to wait for 2 years. I'm not,
Well,
you know,
Right.
if I were you, I think I would sit back and come back in 2 weeks or
Yeah, I'll come back in 2 weeks.
whatever, but you have to sign that.
Yep,
Paperwork.
I'll come back in 2 weeks.
so,
And then we would have to approve.
so essentially you got 2 weeks to convince me. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, well, so what do I need to do to convince you?
I don't know.
Well,
I need to sit down with you someday and then I don't know what I need to do.
so we would have to vote to give them
Mhm.
a continuation of this. In other words, they're withdrawing without prejudice. And then we would have to,
I understand the process. I just don't understand what's gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. Now, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of thought put into it. We're gonna be sitting here 2 weeks from now and
Doing the same thing.
Road's not gonna
Talking
change,
about the
building's
same-
not gonna change.
talking about the same thing.
Well.
The same reservation, so. I don't want to see disapproved, but I'll certainly allow a continuance, but I don't see what that's gonna end up
Well,
helping.
we will have to talk more. Or give us time to talk more. And
We'll have to talk
convince me or not convince me.
Well, we have to talk about it at an open meeting, I think. I don't think we can talk about it sitting on our porch or at Dunkin' Donuts, so. I don't know if can't get another meeting in an official meeting before 2 weeks.
The official meeting. And then so they continue, so it'd have to be 2 meetings out then.
you could put it on our agenda for that meeting that you're talking about with the lawyers on the 24th or 29th. You put that as an agenda item. if you-
But then they won't be coming back for 4 weeks. That's when- the first meeting in February. Is that?
It doesn't have to be
Hmm.
advertised again. It can just go on our agenda.
Right, but Chris's point is it's 2 weeks, so it'll be a month.
What we're saying is that if we're gonna discuss this in 2 weeks, and then
2 weeks more.
2 weeks after that, before we ask these guys to come back to hear what we have to, hear what we have to say after a month, but if that's the only thing we can do, then I say, yeah, we ask them to go through the process of a continuance. So, if you guys want to do that, then I don't know.
Well, we don't want to come back in 2 years.
No, we don't want to come back in 2 years.
So
We've done a lot of work to get to this point.
I
We've done everything right, you know?
I have to agree, but I think having a continuance is the only thing that we can do right now.
So you would have to write a little note.
Yeah,
Oh, we have
those
copies
forms.
for that.
Yeah, we should.
Continue.
We have a form to fill out.
We do.
Chris, but I got the paper.
I think I might have one.
You have one?
You can get that. That's not the way it's,
No, I know.
that won't be there.
Right.
That- There's something that won't be there. Necessary due to. Yes, lack of yes votes. What's the date that it'll be coming back on?
February 14th.
On Thursday.
On February 14th? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's 7:15.
Today's what, the 10th?
Yes. I'll make a motion to accept the request for continuation from for the application regarding 74 College Highway. Second. Second, everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. In 2 weeks, then.
All right.
All right, thank you.
All right. Good. Yep. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
See you in a couple.
Any other issues anyone wants to discuss?
No,
All right, I'll
I'll
make-
get on for the next time agenda with the attorney stuff, so we can get that out.
Yeah, we'll put off. Well, leave it on the agenda for the next meeting. If we have time, we can tackle some of it. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:50 PM.
Second.
Motion second, and everyone in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Meeting's complete.